time to end welfare as we know it and get those greedy chiselers off the dole. It's time to end welfare as we know it. Teach them a little self-control. For far too long we've allowed these corporate hogs to belly up to the public trough. No more welfare as we know it. No more handouts, cut them off. Now we should all be irate at this huge welfare state right here in this mightiest of nations. AFDC is disgraceful to me. I'm talking aid for dependent corporations. Free enterprise, ha, the cruelest of lies. It cost us $200 billion just last year. If they paid their fair share, we'd have billions to spare. It's time to tell them the buck stopped here. Let's consider Charlie Hurwitz, the CEO at Maxam, holding redwood forests hostage in a vicious little tax scam. It's clear-cut we picked up the tab for Charlie's union busting, then paid him to pollute our water. Jesus, that's disgusting. Charlie won't repay $500 million that he stole from a Houston SNL. What say we kick him off the dole? It's time to end welfare as we know it and get those greedy chiselers off the dole. It's time to end welfare as we know it. Teach them a little self-control. For far too long we've allowed these corporate hogs to belly up to the public trough. No more welfare as we know it. No more handouts, cut them off. Plant the food, we drive the cab, we load the ship, we run the lab, we build the bridges, we fly the plane, we do the work. This is our day. We do the work. We do the work. Print the news, we clean the streets, we build the towers, we change the sheets, we write the books, we lay the stone, we do the work. This is our home. We do the work. We do the work.
And is claiming that by being in this area we are, quote, subject to arrest. I disagree, and I'm not going to leave until the police tell me that we can't be here as part of the public, because the post office is ours.
When do we want justice? When do we want it? Now! Justice! Now! Stand up, fight back! What do we do? Stand up, fight back! Teachers, we are Jobs with Justice. We support the Portland teachers.
Hi, my name is Greg Margolis, and I'm from Portland, Oregon. I'm very proud to be a supporter of the organization Aso Trecol.
You can help me find it. Yeah.
And we'll also be celebrating the life of a man who really, I would say, epitomizes building community and building solidarity. The man is Greg Margolis, and even in his last days of life, he is still bringing us together big time.
But what he did, he added something to my advocacy, and that is knowing when to fight my battle instead of rushing out at everybody saying you're wrong, you know you're wrong, this. But he's here, and that's what we have to remember, you know, and that's what's going to help me when I fall into people who I can reach out to and say, Greg, I need help with this legal issue. I can remember the things he taught me and how to approach. So even though he's not here with me physically, he's here where he's going to always be as long as I have my memory, and that's in my mind. And I want to thank Greg, by the grace and mercy of Allah, for bringing us together and for helping me to become a part of Jobs with Justice.
Bit by bit, he became more and more involved and started to make connections with people, started to take on responsibility, and then all of a sudden he was doing sign-ins at Action, or he was helping pass pledge cards. And then he got very central to the trade work, and he became a vital and important part of our exec committee. And the thing about Greg was that you could really count on him to do what he said he was going to do, to be there when he said he was going to be there, and to take care of nurturing and caring about the people he was with. It's also a time to celebrate what he's done and the difference he's made in this organization, which is quite substantial.
I really appreciate Greg. It's very committed to have a workers in a building for a day labor, and he's every Tuesday present there and among the people who are really affected by the issue. And wherever you're going to go, Greg, are you still with us?
Absolutely.
Greg, presente.
What a true believer in solidarity. I've never met someone who was able to really pretty constantly push for that working at the intersections, always working at the intersections, always trying to bring people together, always trying to find the overlap. And he never let that go, and we needed that.
I really appreciate working with you, your friendship, brother. We really got close in the last 3 years through all this intersectionality with Jobs with Justice activity, but probably first with the home defense, with Lisa Jackson and stopping the evictions, and we moved through all kinds of different campaigns together, defending the Portland teachers, the R2D2, the postal. You were such a tremendous support for me as the leader of the postal struggle, and just coming through whenever was needed, you were there. Moved in where you were needed and where you saw the need. Thanks, brother.
Satisfaction. The most beautiful thing for those who have fought a whole life is to come to the end and say, we believed in people and life, and the life and the people never let us down. Only in this way do men become men, women become women, fighting day and night for people and for life. And when these lives come to an end, the people open their deepest rivers and they enter those waters forever. And so they become distant fires, living, creating the heart of example. Greg, you will be missed.
My great memory of Greg is not just all of the solidarity acts, him running down the street during marches, him being everywhere, but it's also Greg sitting on the couch reading limericks with my daughter at Peter Park's house. Greg always wanting to be with Violet. Greg so full of love.
Hey Greg, I just wanted to thank you for just the incredible help you were in that, what I was talking to you at the end there, and just what help you've been with my own work and activism, and what a mentor you've been to me. It's been really wonderful getting to know you.
We sure love you. Thanks.
Greg, for me, was the heart of the movement. He's the one person who I always could go to and see and tell what the climate was at any action, any meeting. He was the one that I always saw as a real leader, in that he was very humble, and yet he really believed in it. And I believe that because Greg was in this world, that this world is changing.
We were comrades and we were brothers, and made me happy. And I think I just remember, like, one of my fondest memories of him is doing a picket in front of Cleveland High School one time, and us chanting up with the teachers and down with the school board, and he was going at it and was just so happy. And I'm gonna miss him, and I think he really influenced me and a lot of other students in the left and helped radicalize me and make me a better organizer and the organizer I am today. So I love you, Greg.
Well, hi, Greg. I want to say I really admire you, your consistency and your constancy. You were always behind the scenes just doing what you could. You were a great inspiration for me. And I also want to thank you for your love of the dogs. I didn't have a dog in my life until just the last few years, but watching how you interacted with both of your splendid animals really kind of encouraged me to learn that that's another way to love, isn't it? So, goodbye. Thanks again. Peace.
Greg had become very, very politically active, like in the streets all the time, and just dogged so many struggles and mentored so many people and sort of kept hope alive, and the movement moving forward. So I would say grounded in family and extending that to the rest of us is really what I have learned and take away from my time with Greg.
Greg, I just want to say that I've come to appreciate your dedication to this movement in a really profound way. I think initially I mistook it as annoyance, and you grew on me, and I learned a lot from your persistence, and I will take a lot of your messaging with me as I do my work and go on. And I just want to, your spirit and your presence is going to be missed so profoundly by all of us who loved seeing you at these actions. And I'll do the best I can personally to bring what you're passionate about and continue that work in the movement. So thank you so much.
Brother Greg, I miss you, man. I miss your energy, your commitment, your moral center, and our discussions about how we link things together. You were always great at pushing that, but mostly, Greg, I'll just miss you. I love you, man.
The first thing I want to say to Greg is thank you. He's been such a guiding force for this national solidarity in Portland. And I really appreciate all the fabulous work he's done in support of Columbia and the against fair trade agreements. I really appreciate all of the work that you've done for Portland and for the world. Thank you.
But what I would like to say about my friend Greg is he is an excellent example of an unselfish person that seemed like he was always thinking about people that were less fortunate than us. And I think that's a pretty admirable quality, and it's something that I'll never forget. And it's be a good way for all of us to model our lives. So he's certainly laid down a good example for us, and I hope we can all follow it. So it's my buddy Greg, so that's the way it goes.
Hi, Greg. One of the things that I think about when I think about you is how we both love dogs. And I saw that very early on when I first got to know you. I saw you standing out doing, participating in a march, and you had your dog. And you and me and dogs were always a very strong connection. And I just want to say, I wanted to say one last thing. We tore from Durango to come to see you, and we just didn't get back soon enough, and it breaks my heart. And I love you, Greg, and you're an important person.
Greg, I love you. Thank you so much. I remember walking into the ICE building with you, and that totally unplanned action that made everyone feel better, and I think helped increase the boldness of our coalition.
And he had so much energy, he had so much drive, he had so much enthusiasm for everything, and it was one of the things that made me realize that this city was special, and that this community of activists and organizers was special. And he really made me feel at home so quickly, and made me feel welcome. And I'm really sorry to lose him and lose that energy in Portland. My message to Greg is that you'll be missed, and that your spirit is strong, and that I know that your spirit is going to continue to be with us, and to continue to remind us that our goal is to fight for justice, and I'll keep that in my heart. So thank you for everything.
I feel really fortunate that I got to spend that time with you and learn from you. You've really taught me a lot, particularly in terms of keeping a cool head and really thinking through actions and words even, but before you use them and before you take them, and to really evaluate what's the most strategic and the best course to take. From now on, I know you'll be there over my shoulder, and your words and your lessons will be right there with me, helping to guide me.
Greg, we all love you. I love you. You show us how to be steadfast, and you show us the great fullness of life we get by just being completely dedicated. And so we continue you, and we always will. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Greg, I just want to say how much I've appreciated you and what you've taught me as an organizer in Jobs with Justice about connecting the big picture, everything in the world, down to the individual level. You're so good at that, and you've meant everything to me in terms of learning about that. Thank you.
Hey Greg, remember the time we were on the delegation to Mexico? We were in Juarez in 2009, stayed in the same bedroom. We were competing with our snoring. I'm going to miss you a lot, especially your editing skills, helping me with my videos. I love you, Greg.
We just came out of a pretty long and intense yet productive Jobs with Justice Steering Committee meeting, and we talked a lot about Greg. And his presence was very much in the room, but also very much missed. The food was not home cooked. Greg, we're going to miss you. Glad that me and James got to come over and see you the other day. And Greg, of course, wanted to just hear about us. He wanted to hear about James's soccer game. One of the sweetest guys. Pain in the ass sometimes, but one of the sweetest and most caring guys I've ever worked with, so thanks a lot.
I love you and I will love you forever. I feel like I will hear your voice forever, for my forever. I'll hear you telling me about making it deeper, connecting more. I'll hear you saying, don't forget the community, don't just focus on union. I'll hear all of that. I've learned a lot and will continue to learn from you because you're in me, Greg. I don't know how to say anymore, but you have always been one of my total best friends. Not only talking about every bit of politics together, but talking about our families, talking about our private lives. It's going to be a huge loss for me not to have you with me physically, but you will be with me. I love you so much.